Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to finish these sewing junk journals. I have left these for so long. I have in the first video, I've released two videos. In the first one we constructed the cover and we added the fabric on the inside, and the second video we made the pocket, the index card, and also this envelope. And the reason I stopped working on them is because it was close to Halloween and I wanted to release a Halloween collection. And after that we moved, and when I finally had everything set up again to work on these, I just didn't feel motivated. I have learned that it's better for me to finish my project and not take a break in between or work on something else. So I don't want to force myself. I packed these away, and last week I cleaned out my drawers and found these beautiful covers, and I just felt inspired to work on them again. I've got some extra ideas, some scrapbook paper that's going to go well with them, and I'm just in the mood to complete them. So I don't want to drag this series out anymore. We're going to finish them in this video, and I hope you're going to join me for this process. So let's get started. Initially I thought that I'm done with the cover and I just need to pick the pages for the inside, but on second thought I think I want to add something to the spine, and I found this fabric in my stash that I haven't used actually that much. I used it recently for a personal journal and I quite liked it, so I'm thinking of adding this to the spine. I just need to cut it slightly smaller. I quite like these ruffled edges and I think it complements the dress. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then I've also got some embroidery thread here, and I've picked these beautiful purples. I mean, just look at all those colors. Oh, they are so yummy. So I'm looking for one of them. I'm not going to use all of these, and I want to add some stitching down the side. So I was thinking of doing a very simple crisscross stitch, and only around about up to here somewhere, just to make it interesting. And I'm also looking for a color that will complement the dress. So it needs to stand out in a good way, and it needs to be complementary of the dress. That could be one, or we could go with maybe that one. But I'm going to go through them and decide which one and see how it looks. I have migrated now to a very comfy spot, which is my carpet. I don't know why, but with every project, I always find myself moving from the desk to this area. I just think it's bigger and I can pack everything out. Let me know down below in the comments if you are the same. But I've picked out some papers. So for this cover over here, I have picked out these beautiful scrapbook papers from Craft, and then I'm also going to be adding this printable into the journal. This is from my shop, and I actually want to show you this bottom page properly. Look how stunning that is. Love that. And then I actually want to show you over here what I found. This I got from the op shop. Isn't that stunning? So I'm going to scan it. I hope it's going to fit on the scanner. It's quite large. And then I'm going to print that out and add it to all of the journals. And then for our second cover, I've picked out very much a blue theme with some pops of color. And then the printable that I've chosen was this one over here. I think these colors will go really well with the cover. And then over here, I've got some of the basic papers. Let me just turn so I can show you properly. They are very necessary in journals. So we have here on the left some tea stain paper, music, lace paper, and I've coffee stained that, some piano roll paper, some sewing patterns, and then also this magazine from the 70s. I love the retro images and also the sketches that they've made of the clothes. Some of them have measurements and descriptions. I think that's going to look really nice. So my plan is to fold these papers, cut them out to the size of the cover. I might make some smaller and then start making the signatures. So I've cut off the overhang of each signature, and it's sitting really nicely in the cover now. My next step is to go through the journal and start adding tuck spots and pockets and a fabric flip and all those beautiful kinds of things that we love adding to journals. I'm going to try and not do too much, but I definitely want to add something to it. And then also I folded this page into create a pocket, but this sometimes happens when you cut the signature, you cut the pocket as well. But this is an easy fix. I can just stick it there and then put it through the sewing machine. And something else that I want to do is I want to strengthen these patterns because some of them are quite fragile. So I'm thinking of adding washi to the spine. And I also need to close this pocket up and put it through the sewing machine. So I always do this, well, mostly do this part before binding the journals because I find it easier just to put the page through the sewing machine instead of trying to put the whole book through. So that is what I'll be doing now. I've added all my pockets and tuck spots. I've put it through the sewing machine, and I quite like having the stitching in the front and coming through at the back. If I'm done binding the journal and I realize that I want to add another pocket or tuck spot, it's not a train smash. I can cut out my pocket, put it through the sewing machine, and then stick it in with glue or double-sided tape. The only thing is the stitching won't go through to the back of the paper, but that doesn't matter because it will still give the illusion that it's been sewn into the journal. So if you maybe don't like the stitching coming through at the back, then I would suggest using that method. So for the binding, I'm going to use the pamphlet stitch. So a tip that I can give to you that I have been doing, and binding is so much easier, is to make your hole through the middle and then pull your thread through. Don't make all 3 holes at once, because I remember in the beginning that used to be sometimes quite difficult, because if one of your papers moves slightly, the holes won't align up and you struggle to get the string through all of the papers. So I'll make a hole through the middle, pull the thread through, then only I'll make a hole at the top, pull it through. Lastly, I'll make a hole at the bottom, pull it through, and I end up by going through the middle again. I'll do a double knot, and I'm going to let the string hang out at the bottom because I want to add buttons and a charm. So I will be adding also some paper clips to the signature to hold it in place, but even though you do that, there can still be slight movement. So I just find it easier to use that little tip that I've just suggested. Let me know down below in the comments if you've got any tips. I think it would be really nice to share it with everybody in the community so we can all learn. I'm done with the sewing journals and I've added the tabs and the charms. I really love how all of it turned out. So this one's got more of that blue theme, very vintage. And then on this side we continue with the vintage, but I've kept it more of a pink blush tone with some purples. I just really love how they've turned out. I can't wait to add them to my shop, but at the same time I want to keep one of these and one of these but I don't know if I'll be able to do that. We're going to move on now to filling these tins. I think these tins will go really well with these sewing journals, and I'm planning on adding some knickknacks to them that you can use inside the journal. And then I also want to make some ephemera. I'm still deciding on whether I would like to put the ephemera straight into the journals, like the pockets and tuck spots, or if I would rather make a pocket of some sort and add the ephemera to the pocket, and then as you journal you can go through the pocket and the tins and decide where you would like to place the ephemera. So some of the ephemera that I thought of making are things like tags, file folders, clusters, like large clusters, journaling cards. I've also got these vintage playing cards that I think will go really well with it. I also have a label stamp, so I was thinking of stamping out some labels on sticker paper, and I thought of adding some papers that you can use in making your own ephemera, like vintage wallpaper, old sewing book pages, and then I also have like the patterns that I've placed into the journal, that brown paper that come inside of it that you actually cut the pattern out of. I've got some of those papers, so I was thinking of adding some of it, and then some authentic vintage postage stamps, some words that I've stamped out, some lace, things like that. So I'm going to rummage through all my things and see what I can come up with. We are nearing the end, and I just want to finish off by letting you know that it didn't just take a day as what it seems when you watch this video. It in fact took me several days and many hours to complete these journals. So please don't get frustrated or discouraged if things take you longer than expected in your creative space. Videos can really be deceiving in this way. If you would like to see the journals in its entirety, a flip through for each set of journals will be coming out really soon. So if you don't want to miss this and you are new here, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like or comment, or maybe do both, whichever you prefer. And if you would like to see more photos and reels of what's happening in my studio, follow me over on Instagram. I've really been enjoying posting there lately. So I'll leave a link in the description box for everything. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.